one mask has kept us guessing for decades in a world where identities are often revealed. The flashes of high-flying maneuvers, the unmistakable charisma, and the roar of fans chanting his name. Who is behind this iconic mask? Let's take a look at the early life of Rey Mysterio. Early life. Oscar Gutierrez, better known as Rey Mysterio, was a regular San Diego kid. But there was something special about his family. Wrestling was in their blood. Growing up, he was surrounded by wrestling stories, matches, and the legendary Mysterio family legacy. The Mysterio name wasn't new to the wrestling scene. Many in his family had worn the mask before, making their mark in the ring. Oscar knew he wanted in as he heard these stories and saw the action firsthand. With his family's influence and growing passion, Oscar didn't want to be just another wrestler. He aimed to be one of the greats. And as we know, that kid from San Diego didn't just follow in the family's footsteps. He carved his path as Rey Mysterio.
Rey hanging on for dear life here. Whoa, Mysterio!
As Oscar's passion grew, a rich tradition beckoned him. Introduction to Lucha Libre. Lucha Libre, which means freedom fight, is a cornerstone of Mexican culture. It tells stories, reflects societal struggles, and becomes a powerful symbol of Mexican resistance and pride. In Lucha Libre, the mask has evolved but retained its essence of power and charisma. When a luchador dons his mask, it becomes an extension of himself, representing his honor, identity, and legacy. To unmask a luchador is one of the greatest insults, often resulting in matches where the loser's mask is forcibly removed, a symbol of disgrace. Young Rey Mysterio was drawn to this world. The vibrant colors, high-flying moves, and the sacred masks called to him, with the Mysterio family's wrestling legacy on one side and the grand tradition of Lucha Libre on the other. A path that would lead him to wear a mask and become a symbol of Lucha Libre's enduring spirit. Oscar entered the business world with the weight of tradition behind him and a passion and ambition to make his path. Beginnings in the wrestling world. In Mexico, Rey Mysterio was the name on everyone's lips in local wrestling circles. He had a spark, an unmistakable hunger. And then in 1996, he stepped into the big leagues with WCW. His debut against Dean Malenko made everyone sit up. Although he didn't win, soon after he wore the Cruiserweight Championship belt, proving his mettle against contenders like Ultimate Dragon and Super Calo. 1997 brought its challenges. Rey Mysterio eyed the WCW World Television Championship, throwing down the gauntlet to Prince Iyokoa. But just as victory was within his reach, Lord Steven Regal interfered, swiping the win from Rey Mysterio's grip. Even with that setback, Rey Mysterio persisted, facing and often besting top-tier wrestlers. The New World Order, NWO, was next. Things got intense and deeply personal with NWO's Conan. The stakes soared even higher as Rey Mysterio faced off with his close friend Eddie Guerrero in a high-octane title versus mask match at Halloween Havoc. Rey Mysterio's victory sent a clear message. It's every man for himself in the ring. After winning his third Cruiserweight Championship, a venomous Chris Jericho attacked Rey Mysterio, putting him out of action for several months. But Rey Mysterio bounced back, seizing the Cruiserweight title from Jericho, only to see it slip away the following day due to dubious interference.
Jericho grabs going post, inside cradle, Mysterio, 4, 3, 2, he did it! He did it!
The year saw yet another twist with Eddie Guerrero's formation of the Latino World Order. Rey Mysterio was initially resistant, but events drew him in. This meant brutal matches, even against his own, like his tag partner Billy Kidman. Their face-off for the Cruiserweight title was tense, and Rey Mysterio came up short. Through all those trials, one thing was clear. Rey Mysterio was a legend in the making. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. WCW and the rise of Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio made his move to WCW. It was one of the biggest stages in professional wrestling. For many, WCW was a proving ground. For Rey Mysterio, it was the perfect platform to showcase his unique talents. From the get-go, Rey Mysterio's matches were impressive. His opponents were often bigger and had more weight, but Rey Mysterio used that to his advantage. His agility, speed, and innovative maneuvers kept fans on the edge of their seats. His style was like poetry in motion, a blend of traditional Mexican lucha libre with a modern twist, characterized by high risk and aerial maneuvers. Some of his most memorable moments came from his rivalries. From battles with Eddie Guerrero to the tense standoffs with the New World Order, each rivalry was a chapter in the evolving story of Rey Mysterio. But what stood out most were his high-stakes matches, mask versus mask, and mask versus title. In lucha libre, the mask is sacred. It's not just a piece of cloth, it's a wrestler's identity. So when Rey Mysterio put his mask on the line, it wasn't just about winning or losing a match. It was about honor, pride, and tradition. These matches weren't just thrilling, they were emotional. Every dive, every move had an added weight, knowing what was at stake. Rey Mysterio's matches in WCW solidified his reputation. He wasn't just a high flyer, but a storyteller in the ring. Each game, each rivalry told a story of determination, of passion, of a young man from San Diego with Mexican roots, rising to become one of the most iconic figures in the world of professional wrestling. And through it all, one thing remained constant: the mask, the symbol of Rey Mysterio's uncompromising spirit. And with that spirit, he stepped into WWE. WWE and mainstream success. When Rey Mysterio stepped into WWE, it was like starting from scratch. Different environments, distinct challenges, and a new audience. But Rey was no stranger to adversity. WWE gave him the stage, and Rey Mysterio painted masterpieces. His confrontations with Kurt Angle, Batista, and Randy Orton were intense, pushing him to prove himself repeatedly. But Rey Mysterio was here to make a mark. 2006 was Rey Mysterio's year. The Royal Rumble saw him enter second, a position few would envy. But Rey Mysterio turned the tables, fighting through fatigue and outlasting 29 superstars to claim victory. This wasn't just about skill, it showcased his sheer willpower. That victory led him to WrestleMania 22. Despite the odds, Rey Mysterio battled for the World Heavyweight Championship and emerged victorious. Rey Mysterio's story from San Diego's streets to WWE's grand stages is remarkable. His iconic mask represents deep-rooted traditions, while his unmatched skills fascinate fans globally. Rey Mysterio is a legend. We see a unique story of determination and passion as we follow his steps.